John Adams, Letters from the Front podcast for August 1916. This podcast looks at life in World War I through the letters of John Adams, who was 23 when he joined up in September 1914. He served with the 9th Service Battalion, Royal Irish Fusiliers, and was involved in many significant events on the Western Front, particularly Passchendaele. These are his words, read by his grandchildren and narrated by his great-grandchildren. In this episode, we continue to look at the Somme, but this time from the perspective of at home. What happened at home? How did people react to it? In fact, how did people find out? We also have 2 letters from John Adams. He is now in Newtonards in the army camp there, and he's one step closer to seeing his mother again. My name's Mark Adams, and John Adams was my grandfather.
The aftermath of the first few hours of the Battle of the Somme was felt in many homes and communities around the Empire. While the newspapers such as the Times commended the 36th Division on their gallantry during the first day of the battle, it did not console those who were getting small buff-coloured envelopes over the next few weeks to let them know the death of a loved one. Newspapers published lists of the dead, wounded and missing, and many newsagents in Ulster displayed the paper for those in the local community who could not afford a copy of their own. Many local clergymen had the job of informing the family because it became public knowledge before the letter could be sent. The vast scale of casualties of the first day meant whole streets and communities went into mourning. In the small village of Richhill, just north of Halpamsbawn, 7 men were killed on the 1st of July, and all from the 9th Service Battalion of the Royal Irish Fusiliers. On Sunday the 9th July, a special service was held in St Anne's Cathedral in Belfast, and the annual 12th demonstrations were cancelled by the Orange Order for the first time since the founding of the organisation. The impact on a community left a scar that can be felt 100 years later, and many towns, villages and hamlets across Northern Ireland commemorated the centenary of the battle that robbed many communities of a generation of men. Meanwhile, John Adams was still in recovery. In August 1916, he was moved from the Royal Alexandra Infirmary, Paisley, Scotland, to a military camp in Newtonards, outside Belfast, one step closer to home.
13th of August 1916. 10th Royal Irish Fusiliers, B Company, 37 Hut, Military Camp, Newtonards.
I'm awfully sorry I've been so long in answering your welcome letter that I received all right, but my arm was so sore that I could not manage it. This is the first I have written since I wrote to you. You wanted me to get someone to write for me, but I would not ask anyone to do so, as they are all strangers to me, and I knew you would think me all right as long as I am here. Well, I am getting on all right and will soon be better again, but I am still attending the doctor. I had no word from Jimmy yet. The camp is still closed, but I think it will soon be open, and I will go up to see you as soon as I can get a pass in a week's time or so. Davy Patterson must have died sudden at the last. I hope you have all got all right again yourselves. It is lovely weather now. I hope it lasts, as it is most pleasant. I suppose Jimmy and Annie are both working every day. It is good weather for getting the flax pulled. Well, I hope you will forgive me for not writing to you sooner, and I hope to hear from you soon again. I think I will have to close now. Excuse the scribble, as I have got the proper use of my arm yet. I remain your loving son, J. Adams.
23rd August 1916, postmarked Newtonards. Mrs. John Adams, Lissadine, Whitecross, County Armagh. Postcard shows, greetings to my loved ones at home. A soldier writes a letter using his hat on his knee as his desk. In his thoughts are his wife and young daughter. Here's a greeting to my loved ones. Just today all's well with me, and to tell them I am thinking of the home I'd love to see. Cares there are, yet sweet the knowledge that one holds a place apart, very warm and tender in each faithful, loving heart. By Madeline Sinclair.
Dear Mother, just a card to let you know that I'm getting on all right, hoping yourself and all at home are keeping in good health. The weather is keeping quite nice. No more at present. Johnny.
Thank you for listening to John Adams' Letters from the Front podcast. To find out more about John Adams and his family, visit www.johnadams.org.uk/letters. The history of the 9th Service Battalion, Royal Irish Fusiliers, during World War I is taken from Blacker's Boys. Visit them at www.9thirishfusiliers.co.uk with the number 9. Podcasts will be published 100 years after the letters were written, so will be published nearly every month. If you would like to contact us with comments or reactions, the email address is letters@johnadams.org.uk. This has been a Mark Mess production.